Welcome to Freezer Milk Podcast. I'm your host, Bridget, along with my husband, Chris. Weekly, we talk about being parents, what happened that week. It's basically our therapy session to vent out everything that we went through. We are boy parents. We have 3 boys, Enzo, Rhett, and Arlo. And if you'd like to get to know us a little bit better, you can check out our website, freezermilk.com, or follow us on Instagram at Freezer Milk Podcast. We also have YouTube and TikTok, Freezer Milk. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy.
Welcome back. Happy New Year.
It's New Year's Eve.
Holidays.
I feel like we haven't podcasted in a while.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really busy time of year.
It is. We had Arlo's first birthday.
Yep. We had Christmas.
And Christmas.
And we were all sick.
Ugh.
Again.
And we almost got better. And then we got hit with round 2.
Yeah. And it was
we've been sick since December 11th. That's ridiculous.
the daycare thing. You know?
I know.
Everybody, Rhett, what we were looking at? We were looking at Rhett being in daycare out of this month. He's only been in daycare 15 days, 16 days.
I don't even think it's that long.
Out of 31. It's ridiculous.
I don't even think it's that long because he missed, 3 days the week before break?
Yep. And then he missed it. I mean, he's had the entire break off.
Yeah. I think it's less than that. I think he's been in daycare he's normally in daycare, 20 days a month? I think he's been in daycare 8 this month.
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate because I feel like they kind of pick any reason to send him home.
Yeah.
And that's kind of frustrating. It's like we have jobs, we have to work.
I get it though, from a standpoint of they have additional kids, they don't want to get sick, you know?
Yeah. I mean, ever since we moved to the state, Rhett's just been draining from his nose, so he's always sick,
He has seasons of getting better.
It's been tough. It's just been a lot.
It's hard to pass it around the house.
Yeah, and it just keeps going in a circle. We got pink eye. We got all sorts of stuff.
Poor Arlo has pink eye right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and it just keeps going around. I had to get on meds because it's been over a week, and I just can't kick what I've had.
Yeah.
But anyway, Christmas was good. We had everybody here.
We didn't host though. Because
I'm talking about everybody in our immediate family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Us and our kids.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good morning. It was very nice.
Quiet for the most part.
Arlo slept in super late.
Mm.
So we let Rhett and Enzo open up their presents.
Mm.
They enjoyed it a lot. It was cute. It was so funny though, because Rhett, every time he'd want you to open his presents.
Mm-hmm.
He'd hand them to you and Dada open. And then as soon as you would open it, he would want you to actually take whatever it was out of the box and set it up so he could play with it immediately and disregard the rest of the presents that were still wrapped.
Yep.
Just the epitome of a toddler's attention span.
Yeah. What are we, 7 days after Christmas, coming into the new year, and everything that I set up has been dismantled and the pieces are all over the place, and I will never be able to put any of it back together fully again.
Right.
Only 7 days. So that's all it took.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty normal. It was so cute though, because it was probably this was the first year, because last year he was under the age of 2. So this was the first year that I feel like he was really kind of more
presents.
And then Arlo, when he got up, he just cares about eating the wrapping paper.
Yeah.
That dude loves to crumple up paper and eat it.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't give 2 hoots about...
I feel like it was it was definitely a success. I know Enzo didn't get necessarily what he wanted, but...
I think he did, though, actually.
Yeah.
I think he got a lot of what he wanted.
Well, I got a bunch of Legos, and he blew through all those.
Oh, my gosh. He set up 1,000-piece Lego set in, that day.
Yeah. It was
crazy.
Okay, well...
We, Enzo and I went to extended family for some Christmas games and some food later that day.
Yeah, it took a while. It was a long affair.
Yeah, because we were there 5 hours, which is probably a
Christmas Day, mind you.
Yeah, maybe 4 hours. I guess it was 5.
Yeah.
But it was also an hour drive each way.
Yeah.
So it became a 7-hour. I was very tired, and you were very tired from watching the littles.
Yeah, because we were all going to go, but we decided that because the 2 others were sick, we didn't want to expose them to
Yeah.
family. And so you and Enzo went, and I was here with the babies
That was a long day.
on Christmas Day for 7 hours. I was not happy when you got home.
No, you're not.
But I think the expectation, was different in my mind, and I don't think we communicated very well that day.
Yeah, I think because even if you were expecting like, oh, Bridget will be there 3 hours. Okay, well, 3 hours is still 5 hours.
Yeah.
And I think in your mind,
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think you were going to be there for 3 hours. I was thinking you were going to be there for an hour.
there's no way I would have driven that far to be there an hour.
Yeah. It was
a lot.
It was a rude awakening. I was a little peeved by it by the time you got home.
It was a rushed morning
Yeah.
because Arlo slept in and we had to get moving.
But we got through it, and
We did.
then I got sick again.
And we have survived the magical week between Christmas and New Year's of no children in school.
It's exhausting.
Oh my
It's so
God.
tiring. There's 2 of us, 3 of them, and I'm just worn out. I'm so excited to go back to work. Like it's my break.
I saw a social media post the other day that was like, the week between Christmas and New Year's, you either handle the sibling bloodbath that ensues at your house, or you go out in public and get a new respiratory sickness.
It is true.
It's so true.
We haven't been able to do anything because it's cold here in Virginia. It's not like back in Phoenix where, it's 65, 70 degrees.
No, it's chilly.
It's cold here.
Yeah.
And it's been raining.
Yeah.
It rained Christmas. It rained for like 3 days, and it's just been cold. And you just don't go outside.
Not in the wintertime, no.
So, but I did teach Enzo to ride a
So,
bike.
wait, we got to back up. He first got on it.
With you walking around in your slippers.
My flippers. My slippers.
She's running around in her house slippers and her freaking nightgown.
Not a nightgown. This is the best Christmas present you got me, probably. It is a wearable blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Snuggie or any of that. It's like, it looks like a hoodie. It has like a big old pocket like a
It's
hoodie,
a giant hoodie.
but it's like giant size for like Andre the Giant. Like, it's huge, and it's like a Sherpa blanket interior.
Yeah.
And it is so warm and cozy and comfy. And I wear it anytime I go outside right now. Like, if I'm just, so like, I was going to take Enzo outside to go scootering, and I couldn't find his scooter. So I was like, all right, let's get your bike down, learn how to ride a bike. And he was like, I don't want to.
I gave it to her on Christmas and she hasn't come out of it yet.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. Well, we also have, we go and do porch sitting because like our porch is a covered porch with like a fireplace, and it's still like exposed. It's not an enclosed porch, just a covered porch. And so it can be chilly, but it's really nice to go sit out there with you. And if the kids are inside, like we can see them through the big sliding door, and might have the screen open or something. Or in the evenings, once they go to bed, like we'll go sit out there and just chit chat and relax. And I love wearing this out there. The big hoodie blanket.
You get cold easy.
It's so warm. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took Enzo out and running around our like little like parking area for the townhomes.
Santa got, there's a little backstory here. Santa got Enzo this bike last Christmas,
Yes.
and he hasn't tried to ride it once.
Because we don't have training wheels.
No, but he's 9. He doesn't need training wheels.
He's never ridden a bike though.
Doesn't matter.
He asked about it because he used to be like, oh, I don't want to ride it because there's no training wheels.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, well.
So we're not getting your training wheels.
So
Put your helmet on and go ride the bike.
I started with him on, I think it was, I don't know, the day after Christmas or something like that. And I'm like holding the seat and holding the handlebars. I'm like running along next to the bike with him as he's like wobbling everywhere. And he has no concept of like the rhythm of pedaling because it's all just foreign to him. And then we realized when
Both tires are flat.
yeah, I didn't look down at that. So like you came outside at one point to see what we were doing. And you were like, well, it'd help probably if there was air in the tire, Bridget.
Ooh, both of them. They were both flat.
Yeah.
I was like, he can't ride that bike like that. He doesn't know how to ride a bike, and you're going to put him on flat tires?
Yeah, it was fine. It was totally fine. So you had gotten a new gift for Christmas.
Yeah, I got an handheld electronic pump that I run off of my batteries for my drills.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to air up the tires for that and the cars, and, it was
Super easy and convenient.
super easy and convenient. I don't have to drag out my compressors and my air hoses, and Made it really easy. So I aired up the tires for him. And yesterday,
Yeah.
I spent maybe 15 minutes trying to show him what he needed to look out for, what he needed to do, how he needed to balance, how he needed to act on a bike. And I guided him for 10 minutes and then he started riding.
I don't know because I've never taught anyone else to ride a bike, but I feel like that was very fast.
It was. It takes a lot longer than that.
Normally, yeah.
Yeah, and I taught him how to crash safely. So he crashed a few times for me.
In the grass.
In the grass. Yeah, not like on the pavement. Well, he did on the pavement, but I showed him how to catch himself but let the bike go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're working on braking, but he knows how to ride a bike now.
I'm like, again, that seemed very, very fast.
Helps with air in the tires.
Right. Maybe the trick is you start them with the tires flat.
Yeah, so it's really hard.
Yeah, and then it's way easier when they're there.
He went around our loop.
Yeah.
He's probably been around 100 times now. Just
Between yesterday and today, he's been like,
only ran into one car.
You know,
It was parked.
no scratches.
No scratches. But he had a blast. Loved it. Now he knows how to ride a bike. It's a big step for him.
Oh, fuck.
He's not very coordinated.
No. Mm-mm. He's many things. Coordination's not one. Body awareness in general is not one.
No.
Like understanding if you tell him to do something with the body part, he doesn't really know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. That was a huge win for us this week.
Yeah.
Huge loss for us this week was dealing with Rat Holden. And he is coming into his 3s. And I think he just wanted to finish off 2023 with just the most difficult attitude and angst I've ever had.
You know
to deal
what it
with.
is? He just wants
Undivided attention.
someone to play with him all day.
Mm-hmm. And do you have time for that?
No. And he gets that right now for the most part at his daycare, where like the teachers like get down and play with the kids because that is their job. They're paid to do that.
Right.
We have two
The other kids plus jobs.
Yes, two other kids, jobs, a bit like a land business, you know, our relationship. Like we have other things we're trying to do too. But he really, and it was really obvious because like tonight we did a dance party.
Mm-hmm.
Like we I don't
Turn
know,
off the TV.
turn off the TV or turn off the TV, blasted some like music on, you know, a Bluetooth speaker and just started like dancing silly. And
We loved it.
he was on cloud 9. He loved it so much. He was dancing up a storm. Arlo was like slapping his hands on the floor, so excited. That was his dance moves. Enzo was doing his Enzo dance moves. Like, it was just a whole thing. And it really just showed that like Rhett really just wants someone to play with him all day, which is okay. Just not something that we can offer, but we're looking at ways to provide that for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a challenge. I mean, I've been beating myself up because I've been getting so short-fused with him, yelling at him more than I want to.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, man. I'm just trying to find the balance, but I've felt so guilty recently with him and how I've been behaving towards him. Makes me look internal, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put you on timeout today.
Yeah, you put me on timeout. You sent me packing.
I could tell he was pushing your buttons.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got this. You need to go. Like, go outside, go sit on the porch, something. And you didn't. And like
He kept pushing.
and you were just getting more fired up. And I was like, go outside. You're on timeout. Go out there. You were like, what?
So yeah, I got fucking grown-ass man just got placed in timeout.
But I was,
Although, you know what? I actually really look forward to the timeout.
I was like, you just need a reset. Like, that's all you need. Like, I can tell he's pushing your buttons. I can tell, like, you're sensory overloaded. You know? It's been a long week.
That was one thing you bought for me was the earplugs.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but
Loop engage.
loop engage earplugs. They're earplugs I can put into, not necessarily completely silence all the noise in the house.
The down, the volume.
Well, you're really good about dealing with noise. I'm not.
Noise doesn't trigger me. It triggers you.
Yeah, I get screaming.
That's actually very normal for parents.
Like it gets to me.
Yeah.
So she bought me this cool gift for Christmas, that basically earplugs that kind of dial it down, like to like a 2 versus a 10.
Yeah.
And they fucking help, man. I walk around the house and I'm like, just happy and
You pop one out, you're like, oh
oh
God.
my God, I'm putting it back in, but
They're really cool. So it's interesting. Like studies have shown that, and it's not one is better than the other, but studies have shown that some parents and people get very over sensory from noise.
Mhm.
And then some people don't. I tend every once in a while something will get me with like a bunch of noise, but majority of the time, like I don't get sensory overload from noise.
nope, I'm sensory overload as soon as I get up in the morning. Swear to God, I come down here and they'll start talking to me. Rhett's complaining about something. I'm like, oh my God, let me get my coffee, guys. Like, you need to back off. Like, I think I told Enzo the other day, I was like, look, dude, do not engage me until I've had at least 1 cup of coffee. Like, don't even talk to me.
You're like, I just need a minute.
I said, you cannot expect to have a conversation with me before I've had a minute to just really think about everything that's happening.
You and I do things so differently. It cracks me up. So if I hear either any of the children make a noise in the middle of the night, the first thing I do is check my phone to see what time is it.
Oh, I get pissed off. I'm like, ugh.
So last night, Reholden gets up and he is like crying.
1:45 a.m.
But at what point did you figure it was 1:45 a.m.?
After I had my pants, because I every morning I get up with him, I get my pants on, because he typically wakes up anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30. That's his window. So I got my pants.
He made noise.
Yeah, he made noise and he started.
You don't check your phone because I handle it differently.
I checked his monitor,
which doesn't have the time on it.
So I got up, I took a pee, and I put my pants on.
You got dressed for the day.
I was ready for the morning, right?
You grabbed your phone.
I grabbed my phone and I flipped my phone over and it says 1:46 a.m. And I'm like, oh my God, it's only 1:46 a.m.
You made so much noise. You started talking to me. You're like, what the hell? I thought it was like 6:30. Oh my God.
That's how deprived I am of sleep.
I was like, well, if it makes me feel better, Arlo was up at 11:58. So it's been like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it took me 45 minutes to fall back to sleep. But yep, thanks. Appreciate it.
He's been waking. I mean, normally Rhett doesn't wake up, but we moved his room.
We moved his room, and that's new.
We put him up on the 4th floor with Enzo, and that's new to him. So he's been waking up in the middle of the night. I don't know if he's having nightmares or he's just disoriented or what.
Scared because it's a bigger room.
It's a bigger room. It's not the same place. Whatever. But man, he woke up last night, and I could have sworn it was 6:15, and we were getting ready to start the day. I was so frustrated because I was so tired. I was like, I'm exhausted. Let's go. I got my pants on. I have my shirt on. I'm trying to get my phone. I look at my phone. I'm like, it's 1:45.
No wonder I'm exhausted. No wonder I'm so tired. It's kind of nice, though, with him up there, because like this morning.
Well, then on top of that, I could not fall back asleep for the life of me. And I was thinking, so she made me watch the Taylor Swift Eras tour. And by God, that woman is unbelievable. Like, she did a great job with her tour and the movie that we watched. But
it wasn't.
I had her freaking at 1:46. I had her freaking song stuck in my head on replay, and I could not fall back asleep.
Do you remember which one it was?
I can't remember.
Take it off.
Probably one of her more popular ones. And I'm like, I cannot, like, it's just going off in my head. And I'm like, oh my God, I just want to go to bed.
Are you a secret Swiftie?
No, I just couldn't. It got it stuck in my head and I couldn't go back to sleep.
It took me a while after that because I had just fallen back asleep. Like, I only slept for an hour after Arlo went before Rhett got up. I felt like I tossed and turned for like a good solid hour.
Ugh.
And then Arlo got up again at like 5. I was like, oh my God, these children.
Well, the benefit of Rhett being up on the 4th floor is Enzo's up there. So in the mornings, I tell Enzo, now I'm like, hey, Enzo, since your brother's up, you bring him down.
Yeah.
You take him downstairs and you play with him. So now Enzo...
You did that this morning.
Yeah, Enzo was out on the patio tonight. He goes, are you going to make me get Rhett in the morning when he wakes up? And I'm like, probably.
Sure am.
I said, you're big brother.
It was the
He's like, rolled his eyes and walked back upstairs and said, welcome to the house.
So why did we move the rooms?
So we were, there's a couple reasons. I mean, we were kind of getting sick of paying an astronomical amount of money for our child to go to daycare and not be in daycare.
Yeah.
Because me and you are getting inundated. He's stuck here at home with us and Arlo and Enzo, and we have to work jobs.
Yeah.
So we decided to kind of go a different route, a little bit less conventional, but in the long run, we feel like it's something we really want to do. And
Super conventional out here in
out here,
East,
not Phoenix.
metro area / East Coast.
Yeah.
Phoenix is not an option, I don't think at all.
No.
I don't think
But you've been doing you've done a lot of research on it
Oh, God, yeah.
in the last while, good
Yeah.
bit. So, and you were very familiar with the program and how it worked because of your friend.
Yeah, because we're looking at doing a au pair.
Yep.
And I remembered it, and I looked at it when we were, I think, pregnant with Rhett. I looked at it, and Arizona is not up
No,
north.
it's not that state.
I mean, there's no cultural exchange.
No, there's no culture in Arizona. It's just
Not compared to like other parts of the U.S.
it's just boring in Arizona. But
There's not,
here-
and there's not public transportation that's easily accessible, and
no, it's too spread out. I mean,
it would not be an ideal situation for an au pair to go to.
no. But here is a completely different story. DC's only 45 minutes, an hour train ride.
They could technically day trip to New York City if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Or do an easy drivable overnight. Like a lot of stuff's in a short driving distance.
Yeah.
So we're looking at doing an au pair. So with an au pair, you have to provide them a private room. And so with that, we had to kind of rearrange the rooms a bit. And we gave Enzo the option of, would you rather share a room with Arlo or get rid of the playroom and use that as your room?
Because we weren't really using the playroom anyway.
No, we really weren't. So we gave Enzo the option to move to the playroom and give Rhett his old room, or to share his room with Arlo, because Enzo has a very large room.
Yeah.
Like that room's a big one.
And he's, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's only here 6 months out of the year.
Yeah, because he splits time in Arizona.
Yep.
So he chose to utilize the playroom and give Rhett his old room. So the au pair will have a room next to Arlo, which I feel like is nice. Like Arlo is typically
Pretty quiet.
pretty quiet, and like he's not in there aside from sleeping.
Yeah.
Because he's little. And that bathroom, like he doesn't, I mean, he uses
No one uses it. I use it to give the kids baths.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So I think that'll work out really well in the long run. So we've been starting to put together our au pair room. We looked at a lot of au pairs, and we interviewed one that we felt like just really struck us.
Mm.
And I feel like it went really well, and hopefully it'll work out with that one. You know, we've moved forward in the process, and now we're just kind of waiting to
Go through
all the paperwork and everything else, and hopefully within the next like month or so we'll have it all pair here, and that would be so cool. And it'll be an adjustment, and it's going to be awesome. And
we have to show that, this individual a lot of different things about, being in the United States and all the cool things out here, and doing stuff that our family does, and that'll be fun.
it's going to be awesome. And I feel like it was really cool too, the experience of, we have this podcast and you get a very like realistic look at what our life is like with our kids, or at least what we talk about
Yeah.
with our kids, and being able to talk to these different au pairs and be like, hey, like we are interested in hosting potentially you. We'd like to know more about you. We'd like for you to know more about us. Here's our podcast. Go pick some episodes and listen.
Yeah.
And see if you feel like you're a good fit.
Yeah.
How many host families can do that?
Not very many.
And so that part I think was just so amazing. And this particular au pair, like she listened to some episodes. She listened to a lot of episodes, I think. And she really seemed to like what she heard as far as like who we are. She had her parents listen to them, because at the end of the day too, like, I mean, could you imagine like our kid going to some foreign country and staying with somebody for a year? Like you'd want to know about the family.
Oh, yeah.
So her parents got to listen to some episodes and they felt pretty good about who we are. So that was really cool to like be able to offer that to someone who is already moving to a foreign country where they don't speak the language as their primary native language, and they don't know the country, and they don't know this family they're moving in with, to be able to be like, hey, I might not know them, but I at least know them a lot better now than another family, potentially.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's really cool to be able to offer that. And we're familiar with au pair because my best friend Luisa, we met because she was an au pair. And I was like the weekend babysitter for that family.
Yeah.
So we're very familiar, and we're able to pick her brain a lot too about like how can we
make it more comfortable
and set it up for success as a host family, and make the room nice and set clear expectations so that it's a really successful experience.
Yeah, for both parties.
So that was really cool to be able to like pick her brain quite a bit too and talk about it. But it'll be nice because it'll be, Rhett can get like more of that individualized care.
Hopefully he's not sick all.
Right. Hopefully he will not be sick because he's not exposed to as many germs all the time. Gets more individualized care. Arlo will have care as well. Enzo will have someone he can talk to. She can work on her English by interacting with Enzo and chit-chatting with us when Enzo's not here. And I kind of love that, like, we do work from home, but we're in a dedicated workspace. But we are here in the event she wants to, like, the kids are napping and she wants to talk to us about something, and we're not on a meeting or something like that. Or it's just nice. I think it's going to be really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for it.
Good.
It's gonna be good. So that's pretty cool. What was the other thing I was going to talk about earlier? I was thinking about it and I was like, I want to talk about this on the podcast. Oh, it was to talk about the dance party that we did. I kind of paused for a second when we were doing the dance party, and I was like, this is just us getting through and like being silly and being goofy, but like this is their childhood memories. Like these are core memories for them. This is their childhood that they're going to reflect back on one day, like we've reflected back on ours.
Yeah.
Like it's just us doing life and trying to get through the day, but this is their childhood that they're going to always remember. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like,
yeah, I need to be more careful about the yelling.
You're just a
I
passionate.
don't want my kids thinking that Dad used to yell all the time.
You're just a passionate person. But I think if we start implementing like dance parties once a week or even nightly, like that can become something our kids just grow up with as a core memory from their childhood. Of like we every night at such and such time we turned on the music and we're goofy for 20 minutes.
Yeah, Red. I think Red loved it all of them loved it, but Red had a great time.
Yeah, it was so cute. And
I took him up to bed and he just went to bed.
You could see the love on his face, like just the pure, like that kid. Like Arlo is the sweetest baby, right? And Arlo is like fairly chill. But Rhett, he is a fiery one. But when that kid looks with love in his eyes, I have never seen love on someone's face so deep.
Yeah. That
kid has the ability to just, like, he will get this look in his eye of just pure fucking love. And it stops me in my tracks sometimes where I'm like, wow, like you are loving so deeply right now. It is mind blowing. And I feel like tonight during the dance party, he like gave that look a couple of times of just like, I am so in love with this moment, guys. And I love my family and I love what's happening. It's just so cool to see because he
keeps that spirit, you know.
He's a very emotional child, but it's all emotions. It's not just, you know, stubbornness or toddlers. Like it's love too. Like that child loves deep, like way deep. So cool to see.
I wonder who he gets that from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me and you struggle on that.
We've been scarred by the world.
I don't say our spirits have been broken, but they've been broken.
More than once. No, it's just, it's so cool to see. You know that look I'm talking about that he like gives you sometimes where like he'll hold your face and like just go to like snuggle you real quick. And it's just like this like, I love you guys kind of look.
Have you had any thought as to what you're looking forward to out of 2024?
Oh gosh, yes. I think absolutely like our land business just flourishing.
Yeah.
It's already, can we talk about land for a minute?
Sure.
Land. So we did a transaction that we never thought we could do. We've talked about on previous episodes, and going to like the land conference and talking with some of the masterminds out there was what helped us get this transaction done right around Thanksgiving. And we have picked up like additional properties in that same area. And our coach had recommended, because we have a coach mentor for this land business, and she had recommended like, oh, hey, get in contact with a local realtor who sold some land recently, and just see if they'd be willing to sell ours, you know, and list it and all of that if you feel like they're a good fit. Tell me why the first fucking person I call was like, absolutely. And I just felt like a good vibe off of her. And she has been so nice. She like answers the phone and she's like, hey girl, how's it going?
These are best friends.
Right? It's like we're BFFs. Like she like texts on Christmas to like just wish a Merry Christmas. And, you know, I sent like a picture of the
And you made a
trees.
great relationship with the title company out there too.
Yeah. And you and I do mantras. We try to do them daily. This week's been a struggle. But we try to do daily mantras. And we talk about, in our daily mantras, we talk about specific dollar amounts that we want in our business bank account within 6 months. And that 6 month has become, now I think we're down to like 2 months, because we like been counting it down, a specific dollar amount that we are like putting out in the universe that we want. And I'll be damned if these transactions, when they close, which probably will happen within that 2 month window remaining, will push us over that dollar amount we've been putting out in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how fucking cool is that?
Yeah.
It just like blows my mind.
So one thing that I've really noticed in our land business and our lives, like things don't happen on our timeline.
Yeah.
And as much as we want something to happen right now, and we want it done right now, it doesn't work like that. But it's always worked out, and it's always worked out for the better.
Yeah.
In my opinion, everything that's happened. Because when we started this venture, we're like, how are we going to make this work financially? Like it,
because we don't have a retirement account to lean on. We don't have, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars and sitting in a 401k or IRA. Or majority of the people that do this type of investing, like they have a significant
cash pile.
Yeah, to use for it, and
we didn't. No, I mean we had some.
Yeah.
I mean,
we made sacrifices to do that. We chose to sell our house.
But I also think that worked in our benefit because
we had to hustle.
We had to hustle because otherwise we wouldn't have. Like we've seen it time and time again in our program, one of the programs that we're doing, that people that kind of just paid for this out of their retirement savings or put it all on a credit card aren't doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right. But we didn't have that luxury. We're like, how are we going to make next month work? Right. We got to get transactions done.
Yeah.
And we did. And it's just kind of, the stars have aligned on a lot of different things, and it's really worked out really well. It's been a really cool experience. It's our first year into it. And, you know, 2024 will be our second. And
I think we're in month 9 right now. Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically we started in land in September 22.
Yeah.
So,
but we didn't really kick off until March.
Yeah, it took us a while to gear up, get the LLCs and get all of our ducks in a row.
We started out there like actively doing land in March.
Yeah. So
that's fine. Yeah.
But, so in March, it'll be a year, but 2024, the growth there. What else you got for 2024 resolutions?
I think just to continue to grow as our family as like a tight, you know, close-knit unit.
Yeah.
And
I'm hoping with the au pair, it gives us not only a little bit of breathing room, but breathing room in the sense that it makes those moments with our family so much more enjoyable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because right now we're just muddling through.
Yeah.
Trying to get through the day. But to be able to breathe and find us again.
Well, because right now we watch Arlo. So we are on.
All the time.
We never have a break.
No.
I mean, like, I'll have a break or you will have a break. But you and I together never have a break.
And those breaks are typically work.
Yes.
So
I think that part would be really cool, just to have the ability for us to say, hey, we are going to, when we get done with our work day, like if it's early, and the au pair is still working, like, we're going to go run an errand as like a mini date. Because let's be honest, like, if your date doesn't end with going to Target to buy diapers, are you even parents?
No, exactly.
I feel like every time we go on a date, we always end up swinging by to get diapers or wipes or something for the kids.
I feel like all the dates we go on are for the kids.
Right. But like being able to do that or go for a walk even. I feel like let's go, walk around the neighborhood together. Go to the little gym at the clubhouse right down the street.
That's something we've had a luxury to do. We've never stepped into that gym together.
No, because we've never had the time for just me and you.
Yeah.
Since moving here, really. And we have like a babysitter, and she's amazing, our babysitter. But
She's booked.
she's amazing. So she's booked a lot. We do have an upcoming couple things with her that should be nice, though.
Mm.
But I'm excited for that. So I'm excited for our business to flourish. I'm excited for our family relationships to flourish. I'm excited to find our new version of us now that we are entering the year of I'm not nursing, I'm not pregnant, I'm not making milk or pumping.
Yeah.
Like my kids aren't physically dependent upon my body. So I'm excited for what this year will bring for us, just as me and you are able to like find our new version together. I think that'll be really fun.
I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing how Arlo comes into his own.
Yeah.
Year two.
I'm intrigued to see what personality he has.
Mm-hmm.
That dude eats us out of house and fucking home.
Yeah, I'm not excited about the grocery bills, but
He eats so much.
he eats a lot of food.
Neither Enzo or Rhett were big eaters like that. Arlo
Just devours food.
just like he will eat and he'll tell you all done, which I think is so funny because he like says no words, but he will say all done. And then 20 minutes later, he wants to eat whatever you're eating. And like he'll eat a whole fucking banana.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, bro, you just had like, I don't understand.
He's fucking hungry.
I'm like, how?
Let him eat.
Right?
He's a little chunky. He's a little chunky, but that's okay. Remember when he was born, he lost weight and
I know.
because he wasn't doing very well?
We were so stressed because he was like plummeting on the weight charts.
He got down to like 7 percentile.
I know, it was scary.
He ain't 7 percentile anymore.
No.
Dude's 100.
Yeah.
And he got chunky.
They call him Big Chunky, Mr. Chunks.
He's a good boy. I'm curious. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for him to start walking. He's our first kid who reached the age of 1 without walking.
Yeah. He's slow babying it.
First and last. He is fully,
Rhett was 7.5, 8.
he is milking his baby status for as much as he can.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. I like it.
Yeah.
Rhett, I'm looking forward to bettering my relationship with Rhett, strengthening it,
He's going to grow so much.
maybe getting a little bit of one-on-one time outside of the house with him.
Yeah. You said it earlier today. You're actually excited for spring.
Yeah.
And you realize what that means now because in Arizona,
It gets cold
spring
at
is
night.
100.
Yeah, like in the winters in Arizona, it gets cold at night. You're never out at night. During the day, temperatures get up to 65, 70 degrees. It's beautiful all day long.
Yeah.
Right? Out here, it's like a solid 45, and then it drops into the fucking 30s and potentially 20s. And I'm like, and there's a wind chill, and it feels like it's like -5, right? And you're like, you don't go outside in the wintertime. Like, we went out today because it was nice. Like, I was working out in the garage a little bit, and
I think he got up to what, like 48 maybe today?
yeah, Enzo was out riding his bike, and I was like, it was nice.
Glad you bundled up.
Yeah, but I'm like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I'm kind of looking forward to springtime when it warms up a little bit, so that we can actually go outside again. Because
They have really cool playgrounds.
I got
there.
Rhett a tricycle,
Yeah.
and I can't convince the dude to put on a jacket, so I can't take him outside.
What did you say earlier? Like, if my au pair can convince my toddler to wear a jacket, I will be forever indebted.
Yeah, if you can get him to wear a jacket to go outside,
You're good in my book.
yep, I'm good. It's a fight. It's a battle for me and him every morning because I take him to school.
Yeah.
And it is you would think
It's the stupidest battle.
you would think I stole his favorite toy and lit it on fire in front of him, like trying to ask him to put on a jacket. It is ridiculous. So we end up leaving the house. I have to start the truck 20 minutes early to make sure that it's heated up.
Yeah.
We run to the truck because he's in just a t-shirt and fucking pants because I can't get him to put a sweatshirt on. And I get him in the truck and I throw like a jacket on over him, my big jacket over him, so he's warm in the car. And then I run into his classroom with a jacket in one hand and him in the other. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm a horrible parent. I can't get a fucking jacket on him at 25 degrees outside.
And they just look at you and say, it's normal.
It's normal. It's okay. And I'm like, what do you mean? Do you see all these kids wearing jackets? It's normal. Thanks for making me trying to make me feel better. There's nothing normal about this kid. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
It's amazing to think. So like you sent me a video of him a year ago. And I was like, man, that kid is grown. I feel like from that like 1.5 to 2.5 is just, and also 2.5 to 3.5, like this time next year, it's going to be night and day because he's coming into, this time next year, he'll be coming into the 4s. And like, that is such a big shift into like not just not a toddler. Like you're like a young small child.
Yeah.
At that point,
you understand more. You can communicate more. Right now, he understands. He understands what I'm saying, but he's opinionated. He's got.
Well, it's also, what was it? Oh, I was reading today. I think it was actually about trying to have a 2-year-old or even a 3-year-old say, I'm sorry. They don't, their brain can't chemically comprehend how to empathize to somebody else.
Yeah.
So the act of telling them, you need to say sorry, to them, they're like, I don't understand why, because like they can't comprehend it on like a chemical level. And so it's really interesting when you tell them that, they'll do it to appease you, but they do it without feeling it. And so it kind of like creates this pattern of, let me lie about how my emotions are.
Yeah. So when you just don't say anything?
Well, they say like what you can do is like, hey, like that wasn't very thoughtful, or they'd say even try to avoid like saying like nice, good, bad. But how can we help, like if he pushes Arlo, instead of, hey, you need to say I'm sorry. Hey, how can you help Arlo feel better? Can you give him a hug?
I'm not going to remember that.
I know, but it was interesting to read. Like it was super interesting to read that today and be like, like his brain literally, I had to explain it to Enzo today. I was like, he can't comprehend sharing. Like that's not an actual concept for him yet. And so when you try to quote unquote share with him, it doesn't register for him. And so he gets upset because he wants the toy back.
Yeah.
So it's interesting sometimes to like research and
I don't like to share.
It's interesting to like research and read about what they can and cannot comprehend at that age.
Yeah. I don't know. All in all, I think 2024 is going to be a great year for us.
Yeah.
As a family, as a couple, for our business. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the turning of a chapter into a new chapter of our lives. I finally got across country. We got moves. We got out of Arizona.
I was going to say, like, what are your probably top 3 or top 5 for 2023?
Probably moving. Did we buy that house in 43 or was it 22?
22.
I'd say probably selling and buying the house. Obviously, Arlo, it's first year.
Yeah.
Having the support of Susan, who's our nanny, and so much more than a nanny.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Having the support of her, and coming here, just getting out here.
Yeah.
And just starting something new, a new adventure.
Mine would definitely be launching our land business.
Yeah, and land. Yeah.
That was pretty much all 2023. Adjusting to life as a family of 3, and like the joy Arlo brought as a double rainbow baby, and just how
there's 5 in our family.
Like family of 3 kids.
Oh, well, that's 5 in our. You're missing 2 somewhere. If you're tired, you need to go to sleep. Have some more wine.
Family of 3 kids. But the joy that Arlo brought.
Yeah.
With being such a happy baby. Like I don't think we realized how much we needed that. And how.
It's because Rhett wasn't when he was.
No. And how much like that experience of that type of baby we needed to have fulfilled in our lives.
Agreed.
So that was a big one. getting Enzo's dad to agree to out-of-state custody and being able to move our family cross country and have Enzo be thriving in out-of-state custody. Also, Enzo skipping the 3rd grade.
Yeah, and going into 4th.
Was like, and still thriving and like crushing 4th grade has been a big highlight for me.
Yeah.
And then being able to spend time with both sides of our family.
Yeah.
Having like Amy be able to come and spend time with the kids and spend time with us and have, you know, my aunt and my cousins spend time with them. I think that's been a big
Be
highlight.
supportive while we had RSV.
All right. Be supportive while we had RSV.
The kids in hospitals.
Yeah. And then I think the biggest is probably just how much you and I have grown in this last year.
Yeah. Around the waist and
OMG. I've loved it. It's been really amazing.
I'm excited for 24.
Yeah.
Well, you all enjoy your 24, and we always appreciate you listening to us.
We do.
Thanks everybody for listening. You can check us out at
freezermilk.com
or Instagram.
Freezer Milk Podcast.
Until next week, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, parenting is a trip. We are all here on the journey with you together. Thanks so much for listening.